You guys, Chris with Sports Performance. We're here with 17.3. We are working on getting healthy for chest-to-bar pull-ups and a full snatch ladder. Very light to some and impossible to many. So during this workout specifically, as opposed to 17.1 and 17.2, which were horrible as well, you have to make sure that your shoulders are nice and active, open, and stable. As well as you're preserving your grip with this. However far you get from the chest to bar pull-ups to pulling into that snatch position, it's going to be very shoulder and grip intensive. But the things that you can't forget is that midline stability and understanding that you, even at those lighter weights, we know from 17.1 that low back hurt from dumbbell snatching. It's no different now. You know, that pull from the ground is going to get very intensive. So do not forget about core stability, trunk stability, hamstring activation, or excuse me, lengthening with core activation. And you can refer back to 17.1 for some shoulder activation drills that we provided for snatching, and then 17.2 for some core control. So what we're going to do is open with some T-spine or thoracic spine mobility during that snatch position. So we're going to start with a band, and it is National Twinsies Day. So we're going to come on in and get inside the band for me. On this stretch and mobilization, you're going to go ahead and place this just below kind of where your area of tightness or stiffness is. So we're going to put that right below. We're going to have her go into a full squat. And so now we have a little bit of opening and mobilization happening there. It's actually a good hip mobility drill as well. And now we're going into T-spine activation or mobilization and opening up that space. What we're also going to do is, if you have a partner, they can come right behind and provide a little bit of that extra oomph, that mobilization, just to open up that T-spine just a little bit more. A minute is plenty, 2 minutes is delicious. So go ahead and come out, back up. Perfect. So use that to open up T-spine, maybe a little shoulders and pecs. Next, we're going to do a little bit of ankle mobility. So we're going to go ahead and drop that down and apply that to the ankle. We have a 20-inch box here that's sufficient to be able to do a lunge in. I'm going to go ahead and use a heavy kettlebell to provide a little bit of assistance. So you can use your hands for overpressure, but the kettlebell is just going to give you a little bit more of an advantage. So just be cautious with this. Use a stable base, stable platform. So now we have a posterior glide happening at the ankle. We have a mobilization happening here. And so now you can just kind of hold that there, keep your heel down, and get a good lunge position into that. Good, and then relax. Perfect. We also talked about how your shoulders were going to be kind of taxed and a little overstimulated. So we want to keep those shoulders nice and back and active, but we know that from 17.2 and those bar muscle ups that we took a lot of bicep irritation, a lot of front side shoulder irritation. So we're going to give a little posterior glide, bicep opening. We're going to place this at the anterior shoulder, front shoulder. If you guys cannot hear, but we have a director filming this and providing input. He's 6 months old and he's letting us know how horrible of a job we're doing. So with this shoulder activation or shoulder mobilization, we have that in the front here. We're going to lunge into that position. Now what I want you to do is try and bring this shoulder forward, and then that right there just speaks volumes of the intensity of the stretch. Lean forward, get a posterior glide, bring the elbow forward, just nice and easy. Keep hollow ribs and relax. And the last thing we talked about was midline stability and then being able to maintain good core stability. So last week we provided one drill. We're going to advance that just a little bit. So we're going to grab a fairly moderate weight of a kettlebell, dumbbell, something overhead. So we're going to try and create a hollow position. So from that chest to bar, coming through, opening pecs, lats, and T-spine, and then creating force generation, pulling through. So we're going to try and create a hollow position. So grab a kettlebell overhead. Go ahead and bring that over. Perfect. Hollow that body out, toes down, just to give it a little stimulation there. hollow back as much as possible, and the face says it all. This is very challenging, trying to create that hollow position, little core activation, and hopefully that helps and feels great, just like that face says. So Chris Garcia here with Sports Performance again. You guys, thank you guys so much for the huge following that we've had from members and comments and feedback, so we really appreciate that. Continue to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Sports Performance PT, and we're in the open. Thanks a lot, you guys.